prior warning of this, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm experimenting with a couple of bits of new software, so we'll give it a wee try. I'm actually just outside the house and just heading for a walk along the beach and what's been a lovely benign day. A wee bit cloudy this morning, but still very, very humid, and the tide's heading out, so I thought I'd come for a wee walk on the beach. I can't see if anybody's on or anything because I don't have everything with me to have a wee look, but if you are, hi Anne-Marie, thanks for joining me. There'll probably be you and me in this one. It is a lovely evening. I hope it's a lovely evening in Dublin as well. Anne-Marie, can you tell me if the sound and the picture's okay, please? Hi Prash, I think that's you that's just come on. As I say, I'm facing the sun, so it's very difficult to read what's on the script, but I'll try my best. Hi Pat, good evening. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well in Dublin. If you just bear with me, I'm just actually gonna take my flip-flops on in a minute because I'm just gonna go down to the shore and you can join me in a wee paddle. I know that's exciting, but here we go. So as I say, got a wee bit of new software, so I thought I'd give it a wee experiment. So my apologies if everything's not hunky-dory, but unless you try these things, you don't really know. I'm just gonna bend down and take my flip-flops off. That's me. Hi Trisha. That's good. Thanks very much, Trisha. I'm glad that everything's okay with the sound and the picture. The tide's nearly fully out just now. It's probably got about another 20, 30 yards to go out, and then it'll start turning. There's a guy actually in front of me. I don't know if you can see him. I'll try and zoom in a wee bit. But he's actually got his sea fishing rod set up. I know that the mackerel and the pollock are quite prevalent just now, so he'll be hoping to catch them coming in on the incoming tide. We've actually, if you notice there's a wee outcrop of rocks, and the fish come in and feed off the rocks when the incoming tide comes. Just point out where we are. As I say, I'm just outside the house, and if you look along there, that's Western Gales Golf Clubhouse, and the course runs virtually to the pumping station there and back. So we'll just head down here, and as I say, thanks all for joining me. Please excuse me if I miss anybody's comments or questions. It's quite difficult to see. The sun's now getting quite low in the sky, as everybody will appreciate, as we're coming into the end of the summer. But I'll do my best to read what's coming on. Evening. Who is that? Let's have a wee look. Sorry, I missed that one. It's on slow caption, but it's going off pretty quickly. So my apologies. You're doing well, Alan. Well, thanks, Prash. Appreciate it. As I say, this is a wee bit of an experiment with the new software, but hopefully it'll go okay. As long as you can hear me and see the picture, that's all that matters. And in fact, actually, it's probably better if you see the picture rather than hear me, as the picture's a lot nicer than listening to me. There we go. Coming just down to the shorefront now. There's the guy in front setting up his rods for the incoming tide. Good evening. If I haven't said good evening to everybody, my apologies, but it is pretty difficult to read the screen with the sun being quite low. I'll turn it round and you can see, there we go. Looking into the sun now makes it even harder to read what everybody's saying. Hi Vinny. I can just see somebody saying David, saying hello to Vinny. So hello David, hello Vinny. Nice to see some quality on the show. And there's the guy, as I say, sitting up for the incoming tide. So I think what we'll do is we'll dip the toes in the water. Don't want to get too adventurous. That'd be a great thing if I'm trying out the new software and it gets soaking wet. But there we go. Beautiful evening here on the west coast. As I say, it was cloudy up until about lunchtime, but very, very humid. And as soon as the tide went out, it dragged the cloud out with it. What network I'm on? I'm actually on 3 as part of Vodafone now, but we've probably got a strong 4G here just now. If I was closer to the town, which is over there, I'd probably be able to pick up 5G, but I'm on 3 just now. And you'll see there's a concrete and metal structure. That's actually a drainage pipe that comes down from the golf course and takes the water out to sea. It's quite funny here actually, because on this side of the pipe it's pretty shallow, but on the other side of the pipe, just because of the prevailing wind and current, you can actually dive off the pipe. It's about 6 or 7 feet deep, whereas I'm not even up to my mid calves just now. So there we are. That's just going to pan round. House is up there, so it's an easy walk down to the sea. I don't know if this guy will be open to me asking questions. Good evening, Maria. I can just see you've come up. And Pam, good evening. As I say, I'm sorry if I'm missing people, but when I was walking into the sun, it was a bit difficult to see the screen. Thank you so much for joining me. I believe there's about 15 on just now. Just remember, please hit the thumbs ups, helps the channel. There's a new house just been built there. They've actually knocked down the old house that was there and built this new house, so there we go. So that's basically the end of Brassy there. Thank you, Maria. It is, as I said, it's a beautiful evening. Very, very blessed to live where we are. I was going to walk along the pipe, but I'll not bother because it's guy slippy just now. And I'd have been better with my other shoes on. But as I say, it's really that calm bit, the other side of the pipe, it's really, really calm in there. So, and that's where it's deepest, so you can actually dive off the pipe structure into the other side. Unfortunately, you have to walk in to get back up in it, as there's no way of climbing back up. So there we are, I'm just looking over Troon Harbour. Sorry Prash, I missed that last comment. I was looking into the sun again. I'm just going to walk a wee bit further along the beach. So I hope sound and picture's okay. As I say, it's a bit of an experiment this evening, but I thought it was such a lovely night. I would take it out with me. I only got it delivered yesterday and see what it was like. Hi there. You okay? Just waiting for the incoming tide. Much biting just now? Oh, yeah, I know. Do you just use lugworms, yeah? Yeah. The best way to do it, eh? So they say. Best of luck. Thanks very much. Yeah, there's a guy that's setting up his rods and everything, waiting for the incoming tide. Now, if I went further along here, there's actually two burns that flow down into the sea. Does it, David? It reminds you of Ballymonstrand. Good for you. In Dublin's fair city. There's actually a couple of burns, as we call them in Scotland, or streams that come down through the golf course and onto the beach. But if you were to walk along here, you could walk for 7 miles all the way along. There is a river there at the harbour, River Avon, but there is a bridge across it that takes you all the way. So it's a lovely expanse of sand. In my younger days, when I was still at school, we used to have a land yacht where we used to go fleeing up and down the beach when the tide was out. As you can see, there's plenty of room for it. So basically all it was sails and a wee go-kart underneath. It was good fun. Probably not brave enough to do that now. You get a wee bit more sensible in your old age. As I say, excuse me if I'm missing any comments or questions, but as I say, when I'm walking into the sun, it's pretty difficult. You see how calm it is. It's absolutely bucolic at the moment. Not a breath of wind. If I suddenly jump, it's because I'll probably stand in a flounder, and though I'm used to it, it's a bit unnerving when it starts flapping below your feet. You'll see how deeper it is on this side, where the tide doesn't break so much. But that's me out just a wee bit, and it's already just up to my shorts, so considerably deeper than it is the other side. Well, what a beautiful evening. As I say, thanks everybody for joining me. It's a bit impromptu, but hopefully you're enjoying this. Such a lovely night not to. The windmills you see in the distance there, that's actually SmithKline Beecham. It's their factory, and they use wind turbines to generate all the power. As I say, I'm sorry if I'm missing comments or questions. I'll try and get... Evening Craig, thanks for joining me. I can just see your comment coming up there before it disappears. I've got it on slow captions, but as I say, when I'm looking into the sun, it's difficult to read. See, the sea's actually beautifully clear tonight. It is a cracking night, Craig, absolutely beautiful. As I said earlier on, there's virtually not a breath of wind. Well, there isn't a breath of wind, which is unusual for where we are. And the sun's setting, as you notice, straight in front. You can probably just make out, hopefully, the Isle of Arran on the horizon. When the sun's at this stage, it's not very clear until it goes down behind, and then it sort of illuminates it against the sky. When am I back in Tenerife? I'm supposed to be back in Tenerife on the 21st of October, but it's all booked and everything, but it's not a definite thing. I'm going to have to wait to see a couple of things at home before we definitely go or not. But anyway, thanks for all that's joined me this evening. Really do appreciate it. Considering that I hadn't scheduled anything, it's quite nice to see you all on. Just going to walk a wee bit further along if you want to bear with me. I know it's not that exciting, but as I say, I just wanted to try out everything, and it seems to be working fine. Thanks, it is a lovely view. Very blessed to live where we do. So Prash Supermums, 19th of October. Good for you, Prash. Well, as I say, I'm supposed to be there the 21st.